Hey there guys, how are you? Welcome back to another awesome video, and it's time for another movie review. And today's movie review is going to be of BrokeBack Mountain. So BrokeBack Mountain is set in the 1960s, Old West. So it's about two cowboys that head up to do work up in BrokeBack Mountain, where they find a secret romance for each other. So, I don't know who this is directed by. I forgot the name. I wish I knew, honestly, because, yeah, for reasons. But let's just get into kind of the whole movie, because, so, I didn't have any particular reason to, review this. I wasn't requested to review this. I kind of caught this on TV. I heard this was nominated. You literally have Jake Gyllenhaal and Heath Ledger, we got Jake Gyllenhaal here. He just came off of Mysterio from Far From Home. He's Donnie Darko. The dude's Louis Bloom from Nightcrawler. And it's actually awesome to see both Louis Bloom from Nightcrawler and the Joker from The Dark Knight kind of in the same movie. And it's kind of ironic because Heath Ledger has worked with both Gyllenhaals. So he's worked with Jake Gyllenhaal and his sister, Maggie Gyllenhaal. So that's kind of a bit convenient. I don't know. I think Dark Knight was in 2008, and then this came out later on. No, this had been before that. Well, whatever the case is, it's kind of interesting to see that. And my point I'm trying to make here is these are two great actors, and I heard they're probably nominated for things. This was probably during Oscar Award season when this movie came out. I'm going to guess it was 2006 maybe in 2007, because Ledger unfortunately died after The Dark Knight. And I know everybody's has talked about this before, and that's kind of the sad thing, is whenever you talk about a Heath Ledger movie, he really commits to a role. He really commits to a character. He really puts in his method acting, and that's what he did with Joker, and that's what he does with this character. Let's talk about his character a little bit later, let's just save that for later, because there's an aspect that I like, and there's an aspect I don't like about Ledger's character. But Heath Ledger gives a great performance. Both Heath Ledger and Jake Gyllenhaal give great performances, obviously. They work together pretty well, and the moments when they're supposed to be not gay, you can tell they're acting like more testosterone, like cowboys. But when they're together, you're kind of you can see they're sort of bonding, this sort of secret relationship, because this was a hard topic during the 60s to have the idea of two guys being gay for each other. And they had basically this secret bromance, and they had their wives, and they had their family. Gyllenhaal had Anne Hathaway, and I think Heath Ledger had Linda, I'm going to say her name wrong, and I'm so sorry, Linda Cardinelli. I can't remember how to say it. It's Cardinelli, I think. She's cool in this movie. She's Velma from Scooby-Doo, so the one good thing about Scooby-Doo, some even might say she's hot Velma, because let's face it, everyone was attracted to that Velma, and everyone was attracted to Linda Cardinelli at the time. Plus she's Wendy, so that's pretty awesome. So you gotta love that. So she's pretty cool. Definitely really attractive, but it's more along the lines of she has this attitude of playing really cool, not edgy, but really cool, chicks. And she's cool. And that's mainly it. But let's get to the real sauce that I'm going to bring back, which is the bromance. Now, I'm all for a gay relationship. I'm all for a lesbian relationship. I'm all for that in the real life. I know many people and many friends of mine that are gay, they're lesbian, they're bi, all these other things and stuff like that. I know people along those lines, and I don't mind that in my movies. There's been some good movies that have this sort of topic happening of two guys like each other, two girls like each other, or something along those lines. A lot of TV shows cover it too, so it's all fine because we have our LGBTQ characters out there that people are attracted to. Not attracted they're cute or they're sexy. It's more along the lines of they're relatable, or they just have a connection, or they have this development, or they just have this character to them that people can like. Now, the reason why this is a problem is because of it's so quick. It's so soon. And it's literally like, if I remember correctly, it was 15 minutes in, 10 minutes, and that's not even meeting like the 30-minute mark, which is really weird. Because it'd been better if it met at the 30-minute mark, or at least the hour mark, because this is like a 2-hour movie. So, at least done the 30-minute mark or the hour mark, because this is too soon. And I'll give you why. Because at first when you meet these two, they don't have any chemistry whatsoever. They're just like, oh, you're here for a job? Yeah, I'm here for a job. Cool. They head up there, they're doing their work, herding sheep, doing shit, all that other stuff. And then one big night, all of a sudden they start making out like they've been gay for each other for like decades. And it's like, where did this all of a sudden happen? It doesn't make sense, really. It doesn't add a connection. It doesn't add chemistry where if this was at the 30-minute mark where they discovered a bromance, and that's fine because you developed enough time to say, okay, Gyllenhaal's character likes Ledger's character. They just don't realize it. They're hinting at each other. They're maybe flirting a bit. Maybe they're kind of like getting to know each other better personally because obviously this BrokeBack Mountain could be like their safe haven. So this could be their safe haven, and they've been there for over a month and over maybe a year, maybe not over a month, maybe over almost a year, maybe half a year, of them kind of getting to know each other and doing this sort of work, and that maybe they're like, oh, I'll go up there. You'll go up there for another year, another spring, another winter? Yeah, okay. All right, if you could do that, I'll be there too, kind of like tease the idea of like, oh, maybe this is kind of interesting, us going up there, just being alone, stuff like that. That's fine. But if just all of a sudden just shows up out of nowhere, like it just hits you in the face, and I'm like, wait, like it's like a moment that catches you off guard, so you have to literally go back and rewind, like, where did this happen? So there's that. And let's talk about Ledger's character. Now, Ledger really gives a great performance. He really does. But I don't like his character. And that kills me because of just, it's hard to talk about a deceased actor. And it's hard to talk about an actor in general because even if Ledger was still alive, because this is obviously Ledger giving his best and giving it his all. He's putting in a good performance. The character is bad. Here's why. Because basically when he's up there, he's at first like, hey, I ain't queer, so we're not gonna do this shit no more. Fine. But then after he sees him years later, he's like, oh my gosh, I missed you, and he's like basically kissing face on him, and it's like, okay, but you said you weren't into Gyllenhaal. What the hell happened? That made no sense. The fact that every time Gyllenhaal is basically coming on to him, he's like, fuck you, basically, push him away, casting him aside. Just doesn't care about him anymore whatsoever. And that even annoys me more because the other thing he wants that commitment. He wants that relationship. He wants this sort of like safe haven, and he wants this embrace from this guy because every time they're like sitting there together cuddling and being, I guess, and they're being cute and everything and whatnot and all, no homo because I'm straight, but I support that. But point I'm trying to make is when they're cuddling, they're all these other things, doing cute stuff and being romantic. Here's Ledger like holding on to him tight, like, I don't want to let go. But yet he lets him go. It's bonanza, really. Because then there's a part where Gyllenhaal is like, I see that you're divorced, and I can have you up in a cabin with me. You can bring your daughter, that one that really likes you the most. You have a nice bond with and everything, and we can have a good life. And he's like, you know what? That sounds like shit. And what you say every time is bullshit. And that's what pisses me off about his character. Not the performance, his character. Because there's a difference between the performance that Ledger gives and the character that he has. So, that being said, it's just really drives me nuts because then when he pushes Gyllenhaal to the last minute and to the last time, Gyllenhaal's character dies. And then we see Ledger breaking into tears because he's like, I feel like such a douche. And he's such a freaking douche for that. it just drives me nuts a little bit. And it sounds like I'm really hating this movie. A little, but at the same time I'm not, because I really want to, I mean, this has some really, like, some serious subject matter that people should maybe look into, because this is, like, because if you're into, like, the LGBTQ, this is something you might be, I guess, interested in. Even if you're just a straight guy, you like these two actors as performances and actors wise, then you'll like this movie. But the problem is just they kind of really interpret this whole, like, situation, like, very, like, not vague, but it's hard to put it. It's really aggravating because of how it just unfolds. You think it'd be okay, though maybe this will work out, maybe it won't, and then by the half mark of the movie, then say, we'll commit to this or not. And then explore that better. But instead it kind of goes, here's a scene, then they stop, here's another scene, then they stop, here's another bit, and it kind of repeats that process. And it kind of upsets you because it's like, where's your demographic right now? What's your priority right now? Do you want this to be a relationship that you want your characters to get into, or is this not something you want to get into? Do you want them to have separate lives where they have a straight family, or is this something you want to exploit more? And the more Ledger pushes Gyllenhaal's character away, it annoyed me. It's hard to say this is a bad movie, and it's hard to say this is a good movie. But I could see where the Oscar buzz went to, because honestly, as much as Ledger gives a great performance, I gotta give it to Gyllenhaal. He's the better actor here in this movie in terms of the performance and his character. Because I really felt for him more than Ledger. And and it made me even feel more bad about Gyllenhaal's character, because he then dies and gets murdered by basically people because of the fact that, oh shit, you were basically having like hoodins, or not hoodins, whatever the word I'm looking for is. You were basically sleeping with this guy when this was an era when gays and queer and bis and all this other stuff was basically illegal. So yeah, I don't think that's the message they're trying to drive, and if that's the case, they don't do it so successful. But other than that, I'd probably give BrokeBack Mountain I'd give it like a C, maybe a C plus if I want to be nice. But if I'm being honest, it's a C. If I want to really give it that extra boost, it's a C plus. So that's BrokeBack Mountain for you guys. If you liked it, let me know. Also let me know in the comments, what is your favorite Gyllenhaal movie and what is your favorite Heath Ledger movie? Any of that. What's something you like about both these actors? And as always, guys, thanks for watching. If you liked the video, please smash the like button. If you're new to my channel, please subscribe. I do awesome videos every day, if not every week. Make sure you ring that bell to be notified of new videos and new content. And also, leave your suggestions. Leave your suggestions for any movie reviews, TV shows, comic reviews, top 10 lists, gaming, you name it. I'll look into it, because I'm going to try and do more reviews. I will have another review hopefully this week. If not, either I'm going to have another review uploaded later this evening, or it should be up by Saturday. I'm also going to do like a movie news, awesome news I'm going to talk about, because just because of all this stuff with set photos and pictures and everything that's kind of going on in the media. So I want to talk about this one thing in particular about the Suicide Squad. So look forward for that. Look forward to that. Look forward to other stuff coming your way and coming this channel. And as always, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.